All right, this video is called the worst trade. Can it load? The worst trading algorithm ever created. And so if you don't know about me, I was an options actually this was here. So if you don't know this about me, in between, so I started this YouTube channel. And then if you'll look at my uploads, I took a long break, right? And that's because I was options trading. Like my job was an options trader. Did that for a long time. Like I have experience with this. So I have experience with trading algorithms, writing trading algorithms, deploying trading algorithms, back testing, all that shit. Everything you could if there's something to know about trading, I probably am aware of it. Okay. Unless it's like prop material, which if it's prop material, then fucking you don't know it either, unless you work at fucking James Trader Citadel and because I work for a family office, and so we had our own prop material actually, and then it was my job to write prop material. So you like the trading strategies that I know are like more advanced than anything you've ever heard of. Okay, sorry, but like unless you're a quant, I would say that the way you trade cotton futures says a lot about you. If you can make money trading cotton futures, then you might be on my level. I don't know. You know, like in the I don't know, I would say the gold rush of 2025, I think I made and I lost all the money, but I think I made like $7 million at some point. Yeah, and then again, I lost it all. But that's kind of like the I don't know. We'll just see what the worst trading algorithm is, because I wonder if I've deployed it before thinking it was a good idea. All right, ready, set, make me fucking. I can't fucking move a mouse with a broken. Oh my God. I can't do because of my thumbs. Oh my gosh, where'd I go? All right, let's start this video over.
Knight Capital, which facilitates trades for big and small investors.
Barely hear
Knight
it.
Capital, which facilitates trades for big and small investors.
Autofilled.
I hate that word. I hate that.
Traders and the exchange staff here on the floor knew that something was out of the norm.
In 1837, there was a very smart man called Charles. Charles had a life where he did things, and some might even say that these things were orthogonal in creating the geopolitical man that Charles was.
Orthogonal is a strong word.
Orthogonal. Why don't we just let that sit for a second?
Yes.
Orthogonal.
Do that.
Did you hear what I just said? Orthogonal. In Charles' day, sailors needed a way to figure out their latitude and longitude quickly while at sea. Because of this they relied on nautical tables. These tables...
I'm not liking the video, but orthogonal is like that's a kind of like... It means perpendicular, but like it's a more complex definition of perpendicular. So let's just continue the story knowing that.
Pre-calculated relationships between time, angles, and positions on the Earth. But sometimes these tables were calculated incorrectly, and small mistakes in the calculations could deliver catastrophic errors while at sea. Charles' conclusion was that relying on humans to complete this boring and repetitive work could be dangerous, and if someone could create a mechanized way to do complicated calculations, they could be done much, much faster, and the possibility for human error would be drastically reduced. Because of this realization, he created thousands of pages with drawings and plans describing a thing he called the analytical engine. His grand vision was a machine that could follow any set of logical instructions if they were provided clearly enough. And Charles was insistent that the machine's
Maybe not even a bad idea, right? Like, that's probably not even...
logic would be perfect. It would simply follow the rules exactly as stated every single time, because it understands nothing except exactly what we've told it to understand. The analytical engine is widely considered the first conception of a programmable computer. What followed over the next few hundred years was smart people doing all kinds of complicated things to make that idea not suck, I think.
That makes
and
sense.
Thus, monkey and machine became one, and the world would never be the same. Over 150 years later, in 2005, it's another normal day at night. Engineers are hard at work on their computers, refactoring some old code. Knight is one of the largest market makers in the stock market, and sometimes their complicated web of trading software needs to be updated. After all, Knight's business relies on collecting a tiny, tiny margin on tens of billions of dollars of stock trades
Never
every
heard of
single
these
day.
people, which-
Knight handles anywhere between
Okay, wait. There's a thing where if you say, like, oh, I've never heard of these people, it's like, it says more about you than it does about it. Okay? Where, like, it's like, well, had it been anybody other than our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who have you heard of? You dumb fuck. But also, I've never heard of, like, Knight trading, and, like, I'm kind of in the industry. I'm industry adjacent. So, like, I don't think these guys are, like, a success story. I gotta be honest with you.
10 and 15% of the total
Yo, we
US
gotta
equity.
I'm sorry, we gotta speed this up. This sucks. Like, this video, there's nothing wrong with this video. I just naturally watch videos on 2x speed, like, just in general. So, we gotta put this up to at least 1.25. I'm sorry.
Trading volume, which means there's very little room for error. Since being appointed as CEO, Tom Joyce has pushed to invest heavily in electronic trading, and these updates are critical for maintaining the light speed system Knight has built over the past few years. Even the smallest error in the software has the potential to be very costly. One big task bestowed upon the Knights of Knight is to remove out-of-use trading logic from the code.
This isn't for you. Don't get flattered. This is for later, because I have to like for a writing piece. I have to go to a casino later, so I just want to wear a coat, and I don't want to forget the coat, so I'm gonna put it on now. All right, we got a little corduroy action going. No, it's a good pick. This is a good pick. I think because if my boss doesn't like this pick, then it won't ride, but I think this is the right pick.
The current peg to VWAP order type is deleted. Midpoint is deleted. The YOLO order, fine, is begrudgingly deleted. Knight's engineers work down the checklist of tasks. However, unfortunately, there's one algorithm that can't be removed. This algo's code is hardwired
Gay.
into lots of other code in the server, so it can't be deleted easily. While leaving dead code in the server may seem risky, it shouldn't be an issue. The algo was decommissioned years earlier, and Knight's engineers have been very careful.
Cum filled. What's this? Another gay reference? Is this company gay? All right, I need to stop making gay jokes. I'm not
triple checking to make sure there is no way anyone could possibly activate it. Users are alerted that the algo is out of commission, and all upstream references are removed. It is, for all intents and purposes, dead. But there's one small problem. Because what Knight's engineers don't realize is that during these updates...
Let's read this. Okay. Peg price by... I don't know what cum-filled means. It's making me a little uncomfortable. Update cum-filled. Cancel power pay. I don't know what these variables mean, like cum-filled, so I can't really...
A little piece of logic has broken. The feedback loop, used to count the total number of shares this algorithm has bought or sold, has silently stopped working. Fortunately, there's no way this algo can ever be turned on again.
Wait, it gave the definition of power pack. Parent order that automatically refreshes child order at the same time. That's a power pack. That's not how I want to be power packed. But
Now, a lot of people watch my videos because they want to see examples of catastrophic financial destruction in the markets. However, for all of you who don't know about the Knight Capital story, I hate to disappoint you, but that's not what this video is about. Because market making is a trading strategy where you can't blow up. Despite the scary sounding dormant trading algorithm, Knight's employees are not dumb. And 7 years later, under Tom's leadership, the firm has grown to be one of the largest market makers in the stock market. Like many of us, Tom could be considered to have had a life where he did...
wait, I gotta see if my options sold, because I tried to sell options today. I gotta see if that worked. By the way, never use Robinhood. Nobody use Robinhood. Don't use Robinhood. They don't, they won't fill orders at correct prices when it comes to options trading. So it's kind of, you have to give them a cut. It's kind of irresponsible. Okay. Oh yeah. All my options sold though. Fuck yeah. That sold. Damn. That was a dumb buy, and that sold. That sold. All right, hell yeah. And that's sold. Cool. You know, I made like a G today.
which is what inspired him to try his hand at doing the stocks.
U.S. regulators are taking a closer look at whether computer trading needs more oversight as they continue to dissect the events surrounding the sudden market plunge on May 6th. Suzanne O'Halloran joins us now. She's joined by Tom Joy, CEO of Knight Capital Group, the largest trader of U.S. shares. Suzanne?
Thanks very much, Julie. Tom, welcome to the program this afternoon.
Hey, thanks, Suzanne.
We want your take. We had the SEC and the CFTC weighing in on the causes of the flash crash on May 6th. A lot of issues came together. Give us your take. Did the report cover enough in your opinion?
I think the report was exceptionally well done. It was based in fact. They spent a lot of time checking out all their sources of data, and I think they did a great job in terms of presenting it. You know, I think we learned several things that day. One is that macro events matter, and we were watching Greece implode live on TV, so that obviously put a pall over the markets. Secondly, it matters that market makers have rules of engagement, and I think we need to tighten up market making.
I actually don't think market makers have any rules of engagement, and that's just not even a partially true statement. Market makers have no, that's why they are market makers. They have no rules of engagement. They are, unless they're sitting back watching prices change, they're buying and selling always.
Rules.
That's
in 2012,
ridiculous.
Knight's proven time and time again that its systems are too stable to blow up.
And I'm right, because they didn't, this company blew up.
Blowing up is what happens when an entirely predictable rogue wave out of nowhere hits your hedge fund.
I want to thank you all for becoming part of our family.
Or an entirely predictable gambling problem out of nowhere hits your personal account. I'm in disbelief. Knight's edge in the market doesn't come from random bets. It comes from airtight algorithmic trading systems that work to profit from all of the bets on top of them. They're happy to leave the commodities trading to professionals like Amaranth, and the stock picks to rising stars like Bill Hwang. Instead of gambling on macro plays, in 2012, Knight is focused on developing its market-making business, which is fortunate because the New York Stock Exchange is in the process of rolling out a new initiative called the Retail Liquidity Program. RLP will allow retail to trade through an exchange directly with market makers like Knight, and trading against retail order flow is the current gold rush within all the big algorithmic trading firms. When a 500-share retail market buy hits Knight's server, their models predict a short-term imbalance. The fact that this order is retailed means there's a low probability it'll be followed by another 50,000 shares, and over the past minute, aggressive sells are coming in at a rate of 200 shares per second. With 1,000 shares queued at 10.10, Knight predicts they can improve the offer, selling to the retail buyer at 10.18 before buying 10 seconds later at 10.10. High probability, low risk trades like this are the core of the business, and to maximize profit from this initiative, the new RLP logic needs to be integrated safely with Knight's existing trading algorithms. Because in order to do these trades with the speed and scale required to pay 200 engineers and 100 quants, Knight needs a fast and reliable way to move the equivalent of 3 Empire State Buildings worth of dollars every single day. This is where SMARS comes in. SMARS is an order routing system that connects Knight to tons of different exchanges, not to be confused with TARS from the movie Interstellar.
Don't let him get into trading, Murph! This is why we can't afford food, Murph! No! 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 Murph!
SMARS is basically just a piece of software that takes instructions from people at Knight and turns those instructions into live orders on an exchange. Above SMARS is a variety of different trading algorithms as well as some risk management systems. Knight is a broker-dealer, which means all risk controls happen internally. If SMARS sends an order to buy, the exchange is certain Knight has the money to settle the trade. You can think of these trading algorithms
Okay,
as logical
alright, I
rules.
see why this is dangerous, but because Jane Street can take money off the trade and always, they're successful. So, what are they doing wrong? Is my question.
That tell SMARS specifically when and where to place orders. But what's most important about SMARS is that it does this job very quickly and very reliably. The ability to trade in hundreds of different stocks across tons of different exchanges is a big piece of Knight's edge in the market. And in order to keep up with all of these stocks, SMARS might need to generate tens of thousands of messages to place and cancel orders every second. Not even 200 years after Charles' time, his vision had come to life. Machines can now execute high-stakes rules with a speed and precision millions of times better than any human. And SMARS is one of the most brilliant examples of this. In fact, this feat of engineering was why Knight's profits were so consistent and stable.
I wanted to point out a couple things here. The number was Zacks ranked #1 stock and has a market cap of $1.6 billion, so it's a fairly large company. And we are right in the heart of earnings season right now, so they just reported fairly strong fourth quarter results on January 22nd that were far ahead of analyst estimates. The revenue is up 22%, and they also beat the analyst estimates. They reported earnings of 56 cents against expectations of 38 cents, and that's their fourth consecutive beat, or four beats out of the last 4 quarters. So that was a solid performance right there.
The speed at which Knight needs to trade is so fast that SMARS uses a binary protocol to receive and process information. Incoming messages are encoded as little numbers that map to instructions about what to do. So in order to make the rollout of the RLP program successful, Knight needs a way to alert SMARS that an incoming message should be handled with the new RLP logic. That means they need to map a binary switch to some code in SMARS. However, they're running into a small problem. The little piece of binary used to flag orders is all out of bits. Every switch has already been mapped to new logic. This means Knight's engineers are left with 2 choices. Redesign the entire protocol and everything that exists on top of it, or just reuse an old bit. This shouldn't be a problem, because fortunately one of the bits is still mapped to an out-of-service algorithm. An algorithm that was decommissioned almost a decade ago. We can just carefully delete every piece of the old logic and map the new logic to the old bit. Simple enough. They make sure to delete every piece of old logic and replace it with the new RLP code, double and triple checking to make sure all old code is completely removed.
I'm sure.
With a few days to deployment, it's a simple process. The 10 SMARS servers are updated with the new code, and Knight runs a battery of tests on one of the servers to make sure everything is working correctly. After a few days of testing, it's clear that all logic is mapping consistently from RLP messages to SMARS, risk management systems are working perfectly, and the new code is given the green light. On August 1st, 2012, it's set to be a big trading day. Months of hard work from hundreds of people has culminated in this moment. What will follow will be yet another example of the agility of Knight's systems, a brilliant display of Charles' vision, and a destruction so violent it will be talked about by YouTubers almost 15 years later. Because 5 days earlier, a bug in the update script caused one server's update to silently fail. Knight had a 1 in 10 chance that their tests would catch this error, but unfortunately, the market gods love a cruel joke. That means at this moment we're left with the following situation. A single server secretly running a dormant trading algorithm, a repurposed message that has the ability to turn on that algorithm, and some broken tracking logic that means if turned on, no one knows what the algorithm might do. On the morning of August 1st, 2012 at 9:29 a.m., Knight has unknowingly created a night-speed nuclear feedback loop that not even Satan himself could have designed. They're about to run a trading algorithm. Not the algorithm they wanted to run, but an algorithm nonetheless. The worst trading algorithm ever created. What's about to happen will...
Hello?
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
In the first minute of trading, SMARS is silently sending over 1,000 rogue orders every second, leading Knight to pointlessly accumulate roughly $50 million of random stocks every minute. This could be considered bad. Now, I don't know how to code, but if I had to guess the current state of the code within SMARS, it probably looks something like this. If receive RLP message, buy or sell, infinitely. But it doesn't take long for Knight's engineers to realize something is very, very wrong. Data feeds are sanity checked, new experimental trading algorithms are turned off, and it only takes minutes to implement the obvious fix. We weren't losing money before this update, now we are. Let's just roll back all servers that received the updated code to the previous version. The market gods love a cruel joke.
I don't know if that works.
Wait. Oh, thank God it stopped. Oh, that would have been really good. Because, of course, those updated servers are the only thing standing between Knight's capital and complete and total annihilation. This fix causes the incineration to accelerate rapidly, as the dormant algorithm activates across all 10 servers. Now Smars is buying millions of dollars of random stocks every second. Knight's $365 million cash is being incinerated at a rate of $10 million a minute, and no one has any idea why. After 45 minutes, Knight was able to zero in on Smars as the cause of the problem, and trading was shut down for the day. At that point, they'd accumulated $7.6 billion in positions and lost $440 million. While this video made it out to be some big dramatic thing, you have to imagine it was probably more mundane and quiet, which is almost more scary. The SEC seems to think these trades were not intentional, but if you know what you're doing, you know Knight was just doing a Walmart spread. Long some Ford, short some Bank of America with 15x leverage and zero strategy. You've heard of the Widowmaker, but have you heard of the Wendy's Maker spread? Long Wizard, short General Electric with $7.2 billion you don't have.
Well, I think that obviously something went wrong, and I think I have to tell you, I would say within seconds, traders and the exchange staff here on the floor knew that something was out of the norm.
You can't help but feel for the Knights of Night. It's almost like the market gods wanted to make an example out of them and do it in the most spectacular fashion.
It's not
because of any implosion. This one seemed like the start.
It's not that anything was out of the ordinary. I think it's just that like orders were filled in a way that people didn't, because I do limit orders constantly, and there's like you write some thinking that they're gonna fill, and you write some thinking that they'll never fill. And you're usually right. The ones that you write that never fill. And I think that this is just a strange case of like the algorithm that they made them fill, and so people fucking sold to them, and like.
To align in the most catastrophic way imaginable. The entire management chain resigned after the incident, and towards the end of the day on August 1st, it was obvious that winter had come. However,
they should have resigned. This is a ridiculous mistake.
Count from 2023 says that the engineer
I basically just explained the mistake where they said fill all orders when people like me are writing fill orders that are not really, like, we actually know are not fair, but we're writing them anyways because you got to put feelers out, and like, yeah.
The update still works at KCG, which pretty epic story. Like, hey, remember that day we don't talk about? Yeah, I was actually the guy that did the update, lol. Hey everyone, if you want to take a shot at ruining your life, I post videos on Patreon.
Oh, shut up.
The link is on screen or in the description. The best way to
This is over. All right, cool. Well, so, all right, that's interesting. But really, like, here, I need, like, precision right now. And my mouse is not good at, I need a new mouse. Okay, that works. So, as far as the worst trading algorithm ever goes, it was just, like, not sophisticated. Like, it wasn't that it was the worst ever, it was just that it was not sophisticated enough to kind of pick up the nuances of what was happening, and it was just it was buying too much. That's how you got fucked, is buying too much. Especially when it comes to options, you can, like, most options expire worthless. You know, that's the thing about options. So you need to, you have to play the game correctly, and you cannot just buy everything that is put on the market the way that these people were. And that's what caused them some issues, I guess. All right, people. So, where do we go from here? Do you have a thing on my face? No, it's just the glasses. Well, it was nice talking with y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna make this 2 videos just to break it up. But yeah, it was good seeing y'all. Good talking to y'all. And I'll see y'all soon. I think that's the situation. I'm gonna keep uploading. There might be a new project in the works. Maybe a new project in the works. I don't know if that'll be like on this channel. We just have to see what the project's all about, folks. All right. I did nothing to my hair, essentially. All right. Fuck that. I'll see you. Bye.